garden in central Illinois, and I am now a 6A zone. I'm going to start this time with a spot that I haven't showed you yet. Not this one. But and I want to show you it's a work in progress. So now I am actually a person who loves everything to be perfect, so you're going to have to try not to judge me on this. But this is a brand new area, and it's not even close to done, okay? So basically I started this 2 weeks ago. That arch I actually drug home from around the corner in my neighborhood in 3 pieces on my back. Those Vigo style beds are not actually Vigo beds. They're from a company called Grow Right. And Justin has a YouTube channel, and he's just a lot of fun to watch. And so if you look that up, that's where those are from. They're really awesome. You don't have to use any screws. They're just totally those little hanger things that go over the side holds it all together with you out without having to get out a screwdriver, which I think is awesome. Okay, so what I started doing was I laid down cardboard and I covered it with a lot of mulch, and I know that eventually that will break down some, and then they won't be quite so high. So right now the stepping stones are not where they're going to be. They're actually going to be placed in the mulch. So these little stepping stones right here I got from my mom's garden, and there's a bunch more, but we just haven't got that far yet. So these are all going to be lining this path. Then what's going to happen, let me slowly swing around here, is the rocks that we've been adding are going to go, let's go back up here, they're going to go from here straight to the side of the bed, and so the mulch will be straightened out and it'll all be mulch. There'll be no more grass, and then that leads us to my vegetable beds. So let me tell you why these vegetable beds are in between 2 houses. So this is probably my 3rd or 4th year growing vegetables, and I had to really learn like what would grow here. The reason why it has to be here, and please no mean comments, it's not my fault. My husband is afraid of bees, and so he walks around with cans of bee spray. Well, I didn't really want to eat bee spray, so I put things on the side. And I'm learning what is coming along. And I will say, he is starting to see my point on the bees, and he's doing better at it, and he's really now focusing more on wasps, which I know they even have their benefit, but definitely not as sweet as bees. So okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put 2 big pots in front of the Grow Right beds, and I'm going to have something pretty in them. I actually have 2 amaranth Love Lies Bleeding, and I think that would be really cool to put in front of the bed. So this is just, like I said, a work in progress. Another thing that I really want to do, and of course, like everyone on YouTube, I have a hose link. Anyway, I think also what I want to do is I want to put some clematis on these trellises, and I just think if I had clematis on these trellises, I got clematis on that trellis, a rose on that trellis, and then maybe even get another trellis that matches that one to sit in the front, so that you feel like you're walking through like an alley to get to the backyard. So as we come here, if you look down here, this is a bunch of daylilies I dug up for my son, who has absolutely no landscaping in his yard, so I'm slowly working on his yard. But look at this, I'm so happy about this. So this clematis, there's actually 2. There's one there, and the bigger one here. And look, oh, it's gonna be so exciting when this gets like all the way up the trellis. And then I don't know about this rose. You guys that are in like a 5B, let me know. This is an Eden Climber, and it's like every year the canes get up to the top, but then those canes die and it starts over. Now last year I only had like 5 blooms, but this year I have like 11, and I'm just thinking, you know, and they're higher up, so maybe it will eventually start to do something up higher, but I don't know. Alright, I always like to take a little look over the garden fence, and here it is. Now you probably maybe can't see very good, at least I can't. Oh, there's Pistol. Say hi, Pistol. Say hi. I know you're the sweetest baby, aren't you? Yes, you are. All right, so you can see that these are going over. The peonies, let's get in here, hopefully. Stay back, buddy. So you can see I got pink snow here. And no, they got a few that are still holding on, and oh my goodness, they're so pretty. I want to say I got these peonies from the neighbor at my last house, and since then I've added more. I showed in my last video that coral charm that was right there, and then I have another one down there that honestly I'm not sure what it is. So the next thing I want to show you is one that was planted by, I don't know, birds, squirrel, I don't know what it is, but it is something that people will say that it is very invasive. I know what it is. It's a purple loosestrife. So here's the thing, I didn't plant it, so don't be mad at me. And I didn't take it out because I've never seen it spread one time. And when you see this bloom, it's just glorious. So hopefully I'm not making everyone mad at me, but I really think this thing is beautiful, and since it doesn't seem to spread anywhere, I have left it. Alright, so as we keep going, down here I have some really big coneflower that I got from my mother-in-law's garden. That's, I think, the only flower I have from my mother-in-law's garden, so that makes me happy. Now, this thing, I know I'm probably going to have to dig this up. This is a blue chiffon Rose of Sharon, and I have wanted one so bad. I'm just so in love with blue bloom, and it's supposed to get big, and I'm hoping I can size control it. Probably deluding myself, but I think it's really going to be pretty, and hopefully I can keep it there. I want to put a tree in the yard. Let me get in here so we're not in the sun. I want to put a tree right in the middle of the grass there, but my husband said that if we did that, if we try to sell the house, no one would be able to use the backyard to run around or play baseball in or whatever. And it is our hope eventually to move, because I really would like to have a couple acres. I grew over 500 plants in my basement this winter, and I sold about $500 worth of plants, and so I would really love to have a greenhouse, because I don't know, I think that would be something that I could do after I retire that would keep me busy, that I would really love. Okay, so I'm going to come out here and give you the look back the other way. Good job, buddy. Thank you. So if I turn this way, I think I said last time that this was just such a dry, I don't know, just looked like it was baking. And all of a sudden, my neighbor has these junk trees, which I don't know what they are. Let me look up here. Somebody said it to me once, I don't remember. Anyone know what this is? I don't know if those are berries. I guess those are berries. Yeah, they look like berries. So if you know what that is, let me know. But anyway, now that I'm getting a little, dappled shade from that, and I can cut back what I want if it gets to be too much. I'm liking how this looks. And once that loosestrife opens, and these down here, so a lot of you probably haven't seen these. I think I might have said something in my first video, but these are called silkwort, and they grow wild in the South. My mom brought these to me from Tennessee, and every year I just pull a bunch out, and then I end up with a nice little form around my yellow false indigo. No, that's wrong. Sorry, baptisia. So anyway, I really do like those there. And once those are blooming, and the loosestrife is blooming, and then all the coneflower and black-eyed Susans on the side, I think this is going to be its best year yet. Okay, so now let's go this way. So this area right here, kind of had to laugh at myself because I'm not sure if I love it or if it just looks too busy. So let me go from the front and see what you think. I mean, I'm wanting things to fill in, so that one, I don't have as many weeds, and two, I just like a fuller look. But I'm wondering, I don't know, if maybe I've overdone it. Now these two pots, look at this. These two pots right here, every year, the stupid squirrel that lives here strips those pots. And then these right here are a really pretty grass, a perennial grass that I had in here last year that I tried to overwinter, and you can tell that clearly didn't work. So I'm getting new ones for that, and then I'm probably gonna put new ones in for this, and you can see they're actually starting to make a comeback. But I think I'll put some new ones in there until those make a comeback. Okay, so one thing I wanted to show you is this little bench. So I love just old things in the garden. And this little bench, my stepson brought home from the curb for me. And this one is farm scene. They all have a different scene in the middle. I have one up front that my husband brought home from the dump. And look at that. Isn't that so cute? I did have it painted, but it's seen better days. But isn't that just adorable? And the thing that was so cute about it, he was like, I know Dad always just drives past stuff he knows you would want, but I didn't. I stopped and picked this up. So that makes it super special. Another thing I added was that blue mirror in the garden. I love that reflection, and I love the color. That's like my favorite color. I love that reflection. Like right now I can actually see the dog in the background. Okay, so let's see, which way do we want to go next? So that right there is an Empress Woo. Not really sure about this lime one. Okay, so now it's time for a very sad update. Kind of sad and kind of happy. Remember in the last one I said that our garden had been flooded. It had really been flooded for over a year, and it just got worse. And this was a lilac that I grew from a sucker, and it was looking so beautiful. And what happened was I noticed that all the suckers down here were shriveling up, and I should have thought something right then, but then all of a sudden the whole thing just looked like it was dead, and it was so sad. So yesterday I decided, well, I'm just going to cut it back and see if it will spring to life. And now look at this. Those are all new. Isn't that amazing? So this thing is going to bounce back. So I have not lost my lilac, and I'm so happy about that. So this though looks really sad, and you can see that I got my smoke bushes under cover for the cicadas that it doesn't seem like we're ever going to get. Not that I'm complaining. Okay, so look at the other lilac. I cut half of it off. For some reason that one side took up that water and the other side didn't. So I cut everything back. I don't see as much new growth on that one, but I did do the scratch test, and it still does look green under the bark, so hopefully it will come back. Okay, so let me step back so you see a little bit more here. So you can see, you probably can't see, there the lilacs over there, the sticks, then a lilac there, and then a lilac there. So I am gonna size control this one to kind of match the other ones soon. So let me go back over here so you can see kind of the lay of the land down this way. Another spot in my garden that I really love is I keep these chairs right there. I know they're just cheap plastic chairs, but my friend Sharon, who is in my Bible study, she gives us fresh flowers every Monday night when they're in season. And I thought that just looks so sweet sitting there. Okay, another thing I want to show you is my deck, and this is not looking its best right now, but I wanted to show you this because see these planter boxes? My husband, I have to give him credit, actually saw these on the side of the road and said, you want to go back and look at them? And so we did, and we brought them home. Well, they were a beautiful addition, but now they're starting to rot out. So this last one right here is in the shop to be fixed. So I'm a little bummed about that, but hopefully I'll still get this done and be able to show you, because when I've done this in the past, it has just looked so good. All right, so let's go back this way. So when I did my last video, I noticed that shutter it's looking pretty bad, and I forgot to take it out. I tried to move it and it literally fell apart, so that will be going bye-bye. We have added some more pots and some more coleus. So all the coleus I did from my own seed inside, so I haven't spent any money on any of the coleus that you see in the ground. That's all grown from my own seed last year. Coleus is so easy to take seed from. You just let it bloom. Here, let me show you something over here. Oh, I love this area. I was worried that these geraniums wouldn't get enough sun to bloom, but so far so good. So let me go over here. Alright, so this is one of my favorites because it got so many colors. Sorry, sounds like there's a truck out there. But see how it's blooming? This will turn brown. I leave it on here until it turns brown, and then you basically run your hand up the stem and catch everything, and you'll be surprised you have tons of seeds. And so I usually save them that way. Most of the time I won't let them flower until like the end so that I can save the seed at the end, but I thought this one actually looked kind of pretty like that. Okay, so then going back this direction, another coleus that I overwintered. That one's starting to look like a little tree. Alright, so let's look this way. That's another lilac I did from a sucker. And this baby here, this arborvitae, I planted it when it was about 2 feet. It really is like my little baby. I'm very proud of it. Another one that's my baby and I want to ask for help with is my beautiful maple, and I want to show you what it's doing and see if anyone knows what is wrong with my poor tree. Now I do have this heavy bird cage hanging on this limb, and I wouldn't have thought that that would be a problem, but look at this. It's splitting all the way up. Oh, if I lose this tree, I'm gonna be heartbroken. So I think I want to get an arborist out here and see if maybe we can, like, I know on Laura's garden answer, they actually bolted a tree back together and it healed. So I'm hoping, I mean, it's like weeping and everything. I'm hoping that this can be fixed because I love this tree. Otherwise, maybe we'll move the Rose of Sharon to the middle of the yard if I have to lose it. Okay, oh, I know what else I wanted to show you. Look at this. My next video, these are all going to be popping. This is like a pink, I think it's just pink. I don't know the name of this clematis, but it is so pretty. Now one thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to back up. Try to go slow here. Look at that. So those blue flowers are spiderwort. And they do spread, but I don't mind. And they don't, okay, so let me just say that I have learned a lot in 30 years. I don't plant things that spread like crazy because I am not, maybe I'll do a video on plants that spread like crazy because you don't want those in your garden. These spread, but they're maintainable, and you know, they spread slow enough that if you really wanted to take them out, you could. But I say, why would you? All right, another thing happening over here is my trellis that my husband made. Finally, I'm getting clematis up high. So it's not just down on the ground. Look at that. Oh, I love, love, love that. It's so pretty. I got a pot that's just about ready to pop. Okay, so now what I want to show you is this area over here. So this is our dining area, our outdoor dining area. And this pot I'm super proud of because, let me back up so you can see it. All of those petunias I grew from seed. I am loving this combination. It's like a really light pinky purple. And then we got this one with the purple throat. It's more white with a purple throat. And then we got this deep purple one. And then we got this kind of bluish, oops, where'd it go? Yeah, bluish purple one. I just think that's beautiful. Now the other thing that's in here that's not really showing right now is that pink cashmere verbena. Not really, I mean there's one in there. Not really doing much yet. And then there's also some diamond frost euphorbia, which is this light, very light and airy plant right there. This will get really big. I mean, this whole planter I think is just going to be amazing come July. Okay, so if I turn you back this way, slowly, this is kind of my messy garden. And I didn't show you this last time. I think, you know, everybody wants everything to be perfect, right? But this is what I call kind of my cut garden, just because I put things in here that I grow from seed that do really nice in bouquets. I don't do a lot of bouquets, but I have done some and given some away. So if you look over here, I have a lot of things going on in it, a lot. So that, like, oh, you probably can't see that. That ruffly thing right there, that's a poppy. And the way that I did that poppy, and all the poppies that are in here, gosh, it's getting sunny, sorry. The way that I did that was I literally came out in the middle of winter and threw those seeds, and they just went into the snow. And I threw a lot of seed, and I only see about, I think there's like 10. So for the amount of seed I put out here, it's not great, but I'm still pretty happy with it. So another thing that's kind of unique, that's the nice thing about growing your own stuff. You can get unique stuff that you don't get at the store. So this is a euphorbia, and I can't remember the name of the variety, but anyway, it will get really big and have all this variegation and white flowers. I grew this geranium. That's gonna be a fluffy pink Cosmo. Oh, and the poppies are like really, really fluffy and furry too. I also have in here that I've never grown before, a blue stock, and that has a seed, or not a seed head, a flower head on it. I've got, those are those Canterbury bells. And then that poor baby right there was moved when we got the sump pump fixed, and so it's holding on. It was glorious last year, but you know what, at least it's alive. Okay, so final thing I want to show you is these New Look Dusty Millers. I think I told you once before that these were grown from seed. And then I also have an angel ring Senecio in the middle, which I did not grow. So last thing, I just want to show you the seedlings. Sorry, this is messy. We're working on getting new deck boards. These are my last of my last seedlings, and let me tell you, these guys are rough. They need to get out of these pots. So that right there is a self-watering container from Gardeners, and I tell you what, I have had no luck with those. I will not use them again. These are forget-me-nots that someone gave me in honor of my mom to put in her garden. These are Love in a Mist. This is a, a Gomphrena, pink Gomphrena. This is that Love Lies Bleeding. If you haven't seen that, look it up. It's amazing. This is a big, it's called Silver Sage. I cannot wait till this gets big. And then these zinnias are large yellow zinnias. So those will go in the back of the border and they'll clean themselves up. All right, well, let me give you a last look here. Now it's getting sunny. Hope you have a great day. Hope you get to get into your garden, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.